Yes, it is. Welcome. I would like to remind the board, the cabinet presenters and speakers the following. Please slow down when speaking, project your voice, speak directly into the microphone, mute your microphone when you are not speaking, and we ask that we do not speak over one another. Are there any comments from the audience on agenda or non-agenda items? Thank you, Ms. Galindo. Per board bylaw 9323, a person, well, I don't have to read that because you don't wish to speak to us tonight. Therefore, the board will move into closed session at 5:02, which should only be an hour or so. Okay. Code 54957.1. We'll be back. Talk amongst yourselves. We'll reconvene into open session at 5:15. The board again met in closed session for the purposes of Personnel Matters Governance Code 54957.4. I believe we are at 3.02. Flag salute, Superintendent.
Yes, thank you, President Coronado. At this time, I would like to introduce. Hello, hello. I would like to introduce and welcome Mr. Sebastian Figueroa, who is a fifth grader at William Green Elementary School, along with his principal, Miss Laura Quain.
Okay, we'll try that again. Good evening, Board of Trustees, members of Cabinet. I'm so honored to be here today with Sebastian. We're going to talk a little bit about Sebastian during our presentation, so I don't want to spoil anything yet. But just to give you a little taste of Sebastian, he is an outstanding fifth grader. We're so proud of the academic improvements he's made over the past few years. He's respectful, he's kind, he serves as a role model at William Green, and he loves soccer. So without further ado, I would like to present to you Sebastian, who will be leading us in the pledge.
Hello, my name is Sebastian and I am a fifth grade student at William. Hello, my name is Sebastian and I am a fifth grade student at William Green. During today's presentation, I'll be sharing about an experience I had setting a personal goal for the SBAC test. But first, I'm happy to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sebastian, could you please stay there for just a minute? We'd also like to give you a bookmark on March 6th. And today, our readers, my readers, this book about the American flag. This story from a book pictures and look at anecdotes and principles or flag science. Okay. We are at 3.03.
Roll call, members of the board, President Coronado.
Here.
Clerk Rudolph.
Here.
Trustee Burris is absent, Trustee Phillips, and Trustee Morales.
Here.
All members of cabinet are present. We have 10 in-person guests, 3 on YouTube and 0 on Zoom.
Thank you. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Move.
On a motion by trustee Morales, seconded by trustee Phillips to approve the agenda as presented, but are there any changes from the board or from you?
No.
Or from you, Superintendent Castro?
No.
Okay, thank you. With that, everyone please vote on their device. Ms. Galindo, a hand count. Maybe take a hand count, please. All in favor, please raise your hand, say aye. Opposed, raise your hand, say no. Any abstentions? It appears motion carries 4-0. Superintendent Castro.
Thank you, President Coronado. At this time, I would like to reintroduce Principal Laura Quain and William Green Elementary School.
Thank you again for having us here tonight. We're so excited to be here to present about all the things that we're doing at William Green. I'd like to take a moment to introduce my team. So if you'd like to join me up here, team. I have presenting with me tonight our assistant principal, Dr. Olvera, who will be talking about PLC work. We have our language arts specialist, Ms. Ramos, who will be speaking to you about the interventions that we've been doing. We have Dr. Neal, newly Dr. Neal, congratulations, who will be speaking about some of the student incentives that we've been running at William Green. And also we have Miss Mendoza, our ELERT, who will be speaking about the student goal setting that we engaged in last year. So thank you so much for having us. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So I don't think it's working. Is it on? There we go. So I'd like to draw your attention to the screen. If what you're looking at looks familiar, it's because it's the data that Ed Services presented at a board meeting on September 4th. So I'd like to just kind of briefly remind you that at that board meeting, the Ed Services shared a lot of the growth that was made by William Green with respect to SBAC. So we saw a lot of really nice growth for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And in addition, we saw some double-digit growth for our students with disabilities. So we're really proud of the work that we've done to make sure that our students are growing and seeing improved outcomes. In addition to what you saw that evening, I'd also like to share with you some historical attendance data. So if you recall the last time that we were here together, we presented on some of the attendance incentives that we had tried out that school year to help reduce chronic absenteeism. So in the year 22-23, we had about 239 students considered chronically absent, which was a very large number. The following year, so the year before last, we reduced that number by just over 100 students. But we still had a lot of work to do because 135 students chronically absent is still quite a few students. We're really happy to report that last year we slashed that number by almost half. So by last school year, we had 59 students chronically absent at William Green. And we recognize that in addition to all of the hard work that we do with instruction, it's important that our students are in school and learning, which we do also feel like contributed to our growth in scores. So at that board meeting on September 4th, I believe it was Trustee Morales asked, what are they doing at William Green? So tonight, we're going to attempt to answer that question. And as you all know, all of the decisions that we make around instruction and around practice are driven by our 4 district goals. And so each of the things you'll hear about, all of the spotlights that you'll hear, we've picked one thing attached to each of our 4 goals, are directly related to our goals and are in direct support of our students. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and start talking about those things that we believe helped contribute to improved outcomes.
When thinking about our first district goal of increasing academic achievement, as our team collaborates further and aligns learning priorities, one of the special focus that we have this year is ensuring that it is in line with our professional learning community work. So last year, our grade level teams dove deep into essential standards work, agreeing upon which were the guaranteed standards needed per grade level to support student success and ensure that students had the appropriate skills needed for current grade level and for next grade level mastery. Additionally, CFAs were created, calibrated, and administered by all grade level teams, furthering the skill set needed of our students to be successful in their current academics. Our guiding coalition was also formed, which is pictured here in the bottom right-hand corner, consisting of teacher leaders who meet monthly to support grade level teams and support their own professional learning team journey. Our guiding coalition's goal is to identify and put into place best practices that support student learning. Other pictures here on the bottom left-hand corner, we have our teachers showcasing what it looks like to track data and take a deep dive into look of student data specifically. And in the top photo, we have this year where our teachers are creating learning targets as another means of monitoring student growth and success. And as we continue our learning targets work, our teachers will further their understanding of unpacking learning targets to provide best instructional practices to further support our students' knowledge for meeting and exceeding grade level standards.
All right, in this slide, this slide highlights our final push intervention in alignment with our district goal number 2, ensuring equity and access. In prior years, our interventions were focused with students that were performing below grade level in ELA and math. But last year, we expanded those supports to our 3rd through 5th grade students who were approaching standard on their SBAC from the year prior, and also focus on our 3rd grade students who were projected to be approaching standards based on their iReady scores. Services included literacy and math pullouts presented here by our instructional IAs, and also we were doing targeted interventions done by our classroom teachers. In addition to the support of our Title I IAs and teachers, we were able to deliver increased and targeted interventions to these students. As a result, most of these students demonstrated growth on their SBAC assessments. Most impressive, many advanced to meeting or exceeding standards. Sebastian was a perfect example of that. Sebastian was one of our final push students, and he was in a math group, and he was on SBAC scored exceeding standards. So he was one of the students that was approaching the year before, and due to some of the support that he was given during this time, he scored a exceeding standard last year. Building on this, Building on the success from last year, we hope to expand this timeline to begin servicing some of our approaching students earlier on in the year and not waiting so late in the year to help those students to We will also continue to build our literacy center pullouts, math pullouts, and small group math supports with the support of our teachers to ensure broader and more equitable student achievement.
And reflecting on our work around District Goal 3, our leadership team took a different approach to view our school data in a different light. Typically, great emphasis is placed on final results of assessments to determine whether or not students are meeting standards. However, our leadership team realized the importance of also emphasizing growth. This shift began with SBAC awards pictured to the left for our 4th and 5th grade students. We know that this is a high-stake assessment with very high expectations. So these awards served as an opportunity to acknowledge growth students made and encourage their efforts toward academic improvement throughout the year. This new emphasis on celebrating academic growth extended into classrooms, leading to even greater student engagement. Both school-wide and classroom celebrations were held to acknowledge the growth students had made. Examples of the celebrations, as you see in the photos, are awards including receiving medals, certificates, gift cards, and even invitations to popsicle and glow parties. And this year we will continue to find opportunities to celebrate growth, as this has proved to be a highly effective way to encourage students to continue to make progress toward academic improvement.
As part of our ongoing commitment to fostering a 21st century learning environment, we recognize the importance of empowering students to take an active role in their education. Last year, our leadership team initiated a student-centered approach by engaging learners in meaningful conversations around their academic performance and goal setting. Our leadership team met one-on-one with students to review their individualized performance data. During these meetings, students were provided with their overall LPAC scores, and the criteria for reclassification were clearly explained. Students were guided through a reflective process and supported in setting academic goals based on their data. Our third grade students engaged in discussions about their understanding of the SBAC assessment. They identified strategies to prepare effectively and set personal academic goals. Our 4th and 5th grade students reviewed their SBAC scores from the previous year, reflected on areas of growth, shared preparation strategies, and established individualized goals. To further support student success, we provided families with conversation starters ahead of testing periods. This was designed to foster meaningful academic dialogue at home and strengthen the partnership between school and family. Building on last year's success, we will continue our practice of individualized student meetings. Additionally, we plan to expand this by involving the classroom teachers in the goal-setting process. This collaborative approach will ensure that students receive consistent support from both school leadership and instructional staff, further reinforcing a culture of ownership and accountability in their learning journey. Thank you.
Thank you. So we wanted you to be able to see the work that our students did around goal setting. So with Sebastian's permission, I would love to share Sebastian's goal setting document, which reflects where he was before SBAC. And then we met again to review his scores after taking the test. So I'm going to have you take one and pass it down. And Sebastian, would you like to join me again up here with the podium? So as Ms. Ramos shared, Sebastian was a part of our math intervention as he was one of the identified students. In addition to that, Sebastian was one of all 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students, as Ms. Mendoza mentioned, that met with our leadership team to do some goal setting around SBAC. So what you're looking at is his goal setting sheet, which is pictured in the slides, but the real example is before you today. And I would love for Sebastian to be able to comment about what that experience was like for him.
Last year, I met with Dr. Neal and I set my goals for myself for the SPAC. This was the first time I set a goal for myself, and finding out that I met my goal in both subjects made me feel really good.
Thank you, Sebastian. So as you can see, Sebastian didn't just jump one proficiency band, he jumped two proficiency bands in both ELA and math. We're really, really proud of the work that Sebastian did and what he committed to be able to make that type of growth. So that equated to 203 points on the ELA SBAC and 175 points on the math SBAC. So Sebastian is now meeting in ELA and exceeding in math, and we're so proud. We're so proud, and we know his family is too. So great work, Sebastian. So Trustee Morales, to answer your question, I don't think it was one thing that we did differently. I think it was a collection of intentional decisions around instruction, and I think it was the commitment of our staff. Our very dedicated staff was fully committed to this work and stood behind any idea that we brought to the table to help strengthen outcomes for our students. And we're really excited to continue all of the initiatives that were presented to you today and come up with new, fresh ideas to continue growing our students in their quest to proficiency. So thank you so much. And let me know if you have any questions.
Are there any questions from the board? Comments? Nothing? All right,
I can make a comment
well,
or two or three. You know how I
just
take over
leave some
this,
for
right?
us.
Yes,
okay?
exactly. I believe in green, you know, my kids went there many years ago and they did well. And when people said, "Oh, well, you kids do well because you are an educator," I said, "No, I'm home, I'm a parent, you know, I'm a dad, you know." So and I can only credit, you know, those teachers that were there for them, you know, all the support that they got. And uh, I know that in our area, we have a lot of new families that come from other countries. We do have, like myself, you know, who came from another country. My kids grew up here, but just having them feel like they belong there, you know, that made a difference. And I think that's part of what your success, you know. Also, just recognizing them, you know, for their achievement. I think that's important, you know, so they can feel like, yes, I'm a person, you know, and I can contribute to the success of myself, you know, and the school. And I love this because one thing that you know, sometimes we get the scores and we look at them and like, oh, okay, well, expected, not expected, yeah, okay, and it goes into a file, you know. But when you bring the child and says, look, you could, you know, you could have done better here, you can improve here, then you know they take ownership of that, and they feel like, okay, oh yeah, they can see, you know, what they could improve on, and then you said they can set themselves goals. You know, we don't have to make the goals for them. Uh, and when they do that, then we see the results. So, and I just want to thank each and every one of you and all the teachers at Green and all the staff, because you know it takes everyone. And I'm just I like the word also, the final push, you know. I think that's important, you know, that we don't just look at, oh, the kids that did well this year. Yeah, we know they're gonna do well again and again and again. But we also have to look at the ones that are one step closer, or the ones that are right behind them, you know, because if we start pushing them all, then they all start doing well.
Right. And to answer that, that's exactly what we saw. You know, our students who are approaching grade level, they're still not there yet, but they're often the group that's overlooked because they're almost there, right? They're not quite low enough to maybe need intervention, but we saw a need for these students to be supported. And so that's exactly what we did. And I just want to credit Dr. Castro because she really inspired that work. She challenged all schools to come up with a robust 30-day plan ahead of SBAC. How are you going to help your students get there? And so a lot of this work was inspired by that 30-day plan and that commitment to making sure that all of our students succeed.
Yeah, and also I don't know, I don't remember if you guys mentioned that, but parents need to be aware. You know, because they get the scores and like, I don't know what this is, goes into the trash, you know. But when parents know and they understand exactly the score and what happened and where they can do better, I think, you know, they can feel like, okay, yeah, you know, they care about my kid. So then they start asking more questions. So I think that's also very important. Um, but again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Morales. Trustee Clerk Rudolph?
I just kind of wanted to explain to everybody that Bonnie and myself, we're not ignoring your up on here. It's right here. I don't, a lot of people don't know that we've got a screen here, so it's easier than trying to turn around. But I really appreciate the all the work that you're doing. But I would love to have had it in writing, had a paper copy that I could look. I do better with paper copies.
Of the presentation?
Yeah.
Okay.
But great job.
Yeah.
Great job. Everybody did great job, Sebastian. And that's a magical royal name you got too. That's what everybody tells me.
Okay, any other
Thank you very
comments from-
much.
Any other comments from the board? Trustee, I'm sorry. Superintendent Castro?
No, I'm very proud of William Green and the work that you've done. And I had the opportunity to visit this morning. So I was there. I feel like I've spent all day with you guys. And I was sharing with Ms. Quain and Dr. Olvera that it was such a nice visit. And I was also sharing with Cabinet, we had a meeting today. It just felt so good to be at Green today. The tier 1 instruction was solid. The level of rigor in the classrooms was very, very good. It just had a sense of calm and just welcome, and it was a very nice visit. So I was very appreciative of my time with you, and this is just testament to all the hard work that you're doing, and keep it up. I know that your principal is very competitive. I don't know why, but she wants to be a California Distinguished School, and I think that you are all well on your way. So you're next.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can they go home and do their homework?
We'll catch you online.
Laura, please say hello to your mother.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so next we have our annual State of the District address, and I just want to share how proud I am to be entering my 4th year as superintendent of the Lawndale Elementary School District. And we've had 2 spotlights so far this year, and you can see how impressed we all are with the work that our school sites have been doing. So this is just another little way of me to share the fabulous things that are happening in our district. So as all the presentations share, we always start with our district goals. And the state of the district is based on these 4 goals: increasing academic achievement, ensuring access and equity, improving parent and student engagement, and providing 21st century learning environments. So a few years back, I shared the district drivers, the big number 3, and the thing that is driving all the work that we do. And I do believe that we've seen evidence of how well these drivers have resulted in the work that we're doing in our district. So we have an overall MTSS system of support. It's the umbrella that covers all of the tiers of support that we have in our school district. And that is the first driver. Professional learning communities is something that we've been doing for the past 2 years. And it's really shown the teachers' collaboration, involvement. We have guiding coalitions at each of our schools that are driving this work. And we believe that giving teachers the opportunity and space to look at each other's data and discuss best practices with each other has really been a game changer. And all of that leads to data-informed instruction. So not only instruction, but all decision-making that happens in our district is based on our data. So attendance, social emotional. We are very data driven here, and this has been resulting in the success that we're seeing. All of those things are centered with the spirit of access and equity, because at Lawndale, we do believe that every child has a right to an education where they feel comforted and safe and are learning and being challenged. So goal number 1, increasing student achievement. We've shown a little bit of this, the SBAC district summary and the growth highlights. This year, our English language arts student proficiency, we averaged in 3rd through 8th grade 50%. We had an increase at site increases by 6 or more percentage points, and grade level increases between 6 and 17 percentage points. In the area of mathematics, 38%. We had site increases by 5 or more percentage points and grade level increases between 6 and 17 percentage points. And in science, 33% average of student proficiency in 5th and 8th grade. We saw district increase and site increases by 6 or more percentage growth points. SBAC special education highlights, which Ms. Osmond shared with you at our last board meeting. We saw special ed district-wide increases of 5 percentage points, and in some of the school sites, they had double digits. I know that Green was one of those schools, and percentages in math, 6% increases with our students with disabilities as well. LPAC is another area of huge pride for us. 17% earned a score of 4, the requirement for reclassification. And in the alternate summative LPAC, 47 earned a score of 3, which is a requirement for reclassification. And our RFEPs, which are our reclassified fluent English proficient students, 19% of English learners reclassified. So 25-26 action steps, building on our work. Some of the things that we're doing is providing quality teaching through quality curriculum. So some of the things that we've incorporated this year, I think Dr. Camellia shared at one of the previous board meetings, is our essential standards work. So every teacher at every grade level, along with their team, have identified essential standards that they are focusing on this year in English language arts and in math. And the 3 ladies that you saw today, Ms. Ramos, Dr. Neal, and Ms. Mendoza, are our TOSAs. They're our teachers on special assignment. Each school site has 3 of those. And something that we've incorporated this year to improve our Tier 1 instruction is that every TOSA, teacher on special assignment, our LASs, our ELERTs, and our math TOSAs are partnering with teachers and partner teaching with them. And I've seen evidence of this during my site visits. And we're really utilizing our expert master teachers to improve what's happening in the classroom. Also small groups, and all of these things are reinforced with our iReady, MyPath resources, and the data that's provided by our diagnostic exams. The same as math, essential standards work, partner teachers, and our 3 district-wide focus areas. We are looking for intentional use of the new curriculum, which we adopted last year, student math discussion daily, and fostering a growth mindset. So we really want to see our math data continue to grow. English language development, every student who's identified as an EL learner receives 30 minutes of daily designated ELD, daily integrated ELD, and a focus on vocabulary development, which is the one area that our data told us that we were needing more support in. Students have opportunities. If we see that students are struggling, we provide targeted support and high-impact tutoring programs through AIR Tutors and Hey Tutor. So some of these are by invitation only, and some of these are provided through our partnership with our WRAP program. How can parents or guardians help? This information is provided to you in your handout, but we really want to partner with parents, have them participate. We always invite parents to participate in our family university and to engage in the importance of attendance, making sure that they get to school and participate in volunteering in the classrooms if they can. Ensuring access and equity is our goal 2 for the district. And this year, we were very happy to recognize some of the PBIS recognition that we received. Mark Twain set out to beat their award from last year, and they accomplished that. They earned a platinum implementation award for PBIS. William Anderson, Will Rogers, Roosevelt, and Billy Mitchell all received a gold, and Smith, Adams, and Rogers received a silver in PBIS, which is our social, emotional, and a behavior support program. We also received a number of recognitions. In 2025, Anderson, as you know, received a California Distinguished School Award. And as we shared during the last board meeting, we're very disappointed in the current administration taking away the National Blue Ribbon Award at the very last minute when we were anticipated to be able to announce that we had earned Lawndale's first blue ribbon at Lucille Smith. And unfortunately, we weren't able to acknowledge that growth. Hasn't stopped us yet. We're still reaching out to the state, to Tony Thurman, to Deborah Eduardo, waiting to hear from our partners to see if the state will want to recognize, because we were recommended by the state of California. So we're hoping to hear back from them, and I will be sure to let the board know when we do. I might run into Deborah Eduardo tomorrow, so I'll be sure to whisper in her ear. And then Mark Twain was the recipient of the National PTA School of Excellence. So a lot of merit goes to our schools that are working very hard and receiving these very honorable recognitions. We have set forth our community schools partnership program with this dynamic group of individuals led by Emily Lay, who is our district coordinator. And this is actually old because these dates have occurred already, but we hosted our first Million Male Figures March on September 18th at the middle schools and September 19th for the elementary schools. And these were very well received. It was a time to showcase our male role models and to welcome them and encourage partnership with the adults in the lives of our children. This is our community schools team. So led by Emily Lay, we have Keeslyn Michael at Anderson, Jessica Duarte at Green, Vanessa Clark at Mitchell, Dominique Paris at Roosevelt, Desiree Austria at Smith, who you met at the last board meeting, Cecilio Martinez Salazar at Adams, and Alondra Villafan at Rogers. So these are just some of the resources that we are able to provide through our community schools. And there's a link on here that's also visible on our website to show parents where they can receive food pantries, housing assistance, getting in touch with other services such as the Department of Social Services and Health and Wellness. Emily's doing a great job in working with Providence with our Community Resource Center to make sure that resources go out to our community. Early childhood. Our state preschool has done an amazing job of offering new programs. We were rated Tier 5 by the Quality Star of Los Angeles, the QSLA, for positively and intentionally engaging children to support learning and growth. We opened up a new two-year-old class, and I'm so excited. I'll be visiting them next week. I might not come back to the district office if I have a chance to be around toddlers all day. You guys might just lose me for the whole day there. We're offering full day classes and also part day AM and PM classes. We also have partnership with parents. They have a new school liaison. We offer monthly parent meetings, and these are the sites where we have our early childhood education programs: Anderson, Carson, Green, Mitchell, and Twain. Goal 3, improving parent and student engagement. So as you know, we've done a lot with our families, our family groups. We have a very robust parent volunteer program. We just held a volunteer fair last week. We have our DPAC, our Community of Multilingual Families, which was a former DLAC committee. We have our APAC, African American Parent Advisory Committee. We have our PTA. And this new one, the Special Needs Family Support Group, I think it's in their second year. And that one is always very well attended. And we have a number of classes that we continuously offer to our parents. One of the ones that we're very proud of is our PEP program, which Dr. Pamilia shared with you that we're starting at FDR this year. Attendance, partnering with parents for attendance and all of the things that we do to make sure that students are coming to school. We want to make sure that we get 100% of attendance every day. And our attendance numbers have been pretty good this year. Ms. Quain shared a little bit about their attendance recovery program, and they have had such success with their attendance campaigns that the other APs asked Dr. Olvera to please share with them the strategy. So that's part of our collaboration with our assistant principals. And partnering with parents. These are just, next slide, please. These are just some of the parenting workshops that we offer for our parents. So we have active parenting workshops for the first 5 years, positive solutions for families, and our parent empowerment program. Realizing amazing potential. So we heard from RAP, I think at the end of last year, and all the wonderful things that they're doing. And these are just some of the 5 areas that they are offering programming in. So we have performing arts, visual arts, academics and STEAM, career connections and leadership, and of course, our sports program. And many more clubs created by program leaders and teachers. I was at Rogers yesterday after school, and I heard that a student was going to go crochet. So, Trustee Phillips, that should make your heart very happy. Community partners. We continue to work with our community partners. Dr. Cooper visited our Coffee with Cops. Was that yesterday, day before? So we always make sure that we are trying as well as we can to maintain a positive relationship with the city of Lawndale. Liliana Martinez has been a great asset, making sure that we always have a table at all of the Lawndale events to make sure that the community is aware of their one and only district. And Centinela Valley in our South Bay partners. We continue to partner very well with Dr. Stephen Nelman over at CV and the feeder districts. Of course, we have Providence Little Company of Mary, and I'm very proud to be a board member for them. And our partnership with El Camino College, who is providing our ESL classes for our families. Strengthening our partnerships. So as you know, one of our student groups are African American groups, and we want to make sure that we always offer mentoring programs to that group. So we have partnered with 100 Black Men. We continue to offer RISE as a program for students, and then our partnership with Trajectory of Hope, who have been such influential partners in making sure that they offer family spaces, affinity spaces to share, connect, and support our Black families. And this was a moment of pride. We're just going to send out invitations, I believe, tomorrow to the students that were selected for the second Superintendent Leadership Council. And this is where I get to meet. This year, we're doing 6 times a year with student leaders identified by their teachers and their principals at each of our sites who help us make better decisions for our school. So we believe that it's so important to develop student leaders and to hear their voice, to make sure that they also can contribute to how we can improve to offer them a good learning environment and opportunities here at Lawndale. Goal 4, providing 21st century learning environments. And I'm going quickly because President Coronado asked me to. So I can see poor Trustee Rudolph is trying to keep up with the page turning. But so 21st century, our Trek and Maker Spaces, I know that Anne-Marie Moad has shared our wonderful robotics program. We have elementary maker spaces at all of our elementary schools. Where 3rd through 5th grade classes attend twice a month to participate with lessons supported by our 2 Makerspace lead teachers. We have one on the east side and one on the west side. And our kindergarten through 2nd grade classes also attend, and they have centers where they learn to explore with tools and learning experience and code and play with robots and Legos and become future engineers. In the sixth grade, we have a sixth grade computer elective curriculum using Project STEM and Scratch. In the seventh grade, we have a computer elective curriculum using Project STEM, Scratch, and Lego Spike Prime. These are all robots, by the way. Eighth grade, we have, we participated in the first Lego League. And this was, what is that show? I know, Howard Ho, you know this. The one where the robots compete with each other. Dr. Ho, Joel, do you know? Yes. So I want to see that in the future. But for now, it was a coding. They have to go through a maze. The students program the computers and they actually have to compete. So it was very riveting, like little mini Olympics with robots. Did you attend? No, you didn't. You guys have to make sure you attend this year.
He competed.
He competed? Joel competed. Yeah, I'm sure he would. And then we have STEAM infused lessons for our ELs as well. So we want make sure that ELD classes also visit the library to support English language development through our STEM curriculum. And then this is Dr. Ho's baby. He always shares all of our facilities. So you guys have seen these, our funding through our bond measures and the wonderful facilities projects that we've been able to do and complete. Next slide. And then the last one, Rogers, which is anticipated to be completed 2025. Oh, this is the administrative building. I'm thinking about, yes, next one. Okay, next one. So we have digital marquees that you have seen at Anderson and Adams. Those were completed in July of 2025. And then this year, we're going to be replacing our marquees at Twain, Smith, Green, FDR, and Mitchell. We have completed our fencing projects at Anderson, Twain, and Adams, and we still have Green and Carson. And then, of course, our safety measures to make sure that our students are safe. We continue using Zero Eyes and our lovely canines who come and help us detect things that should not be in our classrooms. We also recognized our nutrition team this year because I love the name of this, so please nerd out with me. Turn Up the Beat, get it? It's turn up and beat, play on words. They were the Gold Award winner. So this was a very prestigious award given to our nutrition team, and I don't remember the numbers, Dr. Ho. Do you remember the numbers? How many districts received this? Less than 30, and our nutrition team was one of the ones that received the Turn Up the Beat. I just love that.
So that's a third of the schools in the state.
Yeah. So that concludes our state of the district. Any questions? Comments, concerns?
Trustee Morales?
It's for you to peruse on your free time at home.
Trustee Clerk Rudolph, any questions?
And just thank you for all your hard work on getting this together and all the people you pulled together to do it. Fantastic job for you.
Thank you.
The district is wonderful.
Okay. No, thank you. It really was a nice presentation. Thank you so very, very much. It's always nice to know that the things you think about a school district are actually true. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll have more bragging rights at tomorrow at lunch. Okay, thank you. Okay, at this time, we have no correspondence. Superintendent's report, we do not have one. At this time, we at 4.05, approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of September 18th, 2025. I'll entertain a motion.
Move.
On a motion by Trustee Morales, seconded by Trustee Phillips to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 18th, 2025. Comments, questions, changes, amendments, anything from the board? Seeing none, please vote on your devices. Motion carries 4-0. We have no expulsions.
Public hearing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. We are now at 4.06, public hearing, sufficiency of instructional materials for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. We will begin the hearing at 6:05. I'm going to go on. We will close the hearing at 6:05. We have no expulsions. We are item 6. Information item guidelines.
There are none.
Pardon me?
There are none.
There are none, thank you. Consent items. All items appearing under the consent items, SELPA consent items, superintendent action items, and SELPA superintendent actions are adopted by one single motion unless a member of the board or the superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the agenda and voted on separately. Superintendent Castro?
Thank you, President Coronado. I'm bringing forward consent items 7.03 through 7.16 for approval.
Move. I'll second.
On a motion by trustee Phillips, seconded by trustee Morales to approve and or ratify. I'm sorry, consent item 7.03 through and including 7.16 for approval. Comments, questions, discussion from the board? Thank you. Please vote on your devices. Under the wrong item. We're not at item 8 yet. That's SELPA. We're at consent. Thank you. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Ms. Galindo. We are at item number 7.
8.
Oh, I'm sorry, 7 at 8, SELPA items. Superintendent Castro?
I'm bringing forward SELPA consent item 8.03 for approval.
Move.
On a motion by trustee Morales, seconded by trustee Phillips to approve SELPA consent item 8.03, purchase orders. Any comments, questions, discussion from the board?
No.
Please vote on your devices. Why is there such a delay sometimes? Motion carries 4-0. That's more of an IT question. Okay. Okay, thank you. That's another, don't apologize. Okay. Item number 9, Superintendent Castro?
Superintendent action items, I'm bringing forward superintendent action items 9.03 through 9.21 for approval.
Move.
Second. On a motion by trustee Morales, seconded by trustee Phillips to approve and to ratify superintendent action items 9.03 through and including 9.21. Comments, questions, discussion from the board? Dr. Ho? I think I know, but I want to be sure. Resolution 9.06. Would you address that if Superintendent Castro agrees?
Sure. 6 is
6.
actually Dr. Pamelia.
I'm sorry, Dr. Pamelia. I apologize.
Yes, for this resolution, this is the annual sufficiency of materials. We not only have the attestation, the certification from our school sites with our materials, our instructional materials at all of our sites, but we actually this year had an additional layer of monitoring with visits from the Williams compliance team at our sites. I'm very, very pleased to report that our sites all received a sufficiency notice, which means that were no issues and that we passed with flying colors.
Excellent. Excellent.
So
Thank you
much,
very
much thanks goes to our teams at the school sites, including the principals and the library media clerks for their due diligence in ensuring that all of our students had their instructional materials, as well as to our warehouse, Mr. Jose Ramon Perez, for ensuring that the students had their deliveries on time, and to Ms. Martha Sierra for coordinating those orders as well.
Okay, thank you. Therefore, on a motion by trustee Morales, seconded by trustee Phillips, to approve and to ratify consent items 9.03 through 9.21 for approval, please vote on, are there any questions, comments, or discussion from the board? Okay, with that, please vote on your device. Thank you. I know that the Williams people visiting can be nerve-wracking and stressful for everyone involved. Motion carries 4-0. Item 10,
Superintendent
action items.
SELPA, superintendent action items. I'm bringing forward SELPA superintendent action item 10.03 for approval.
Move.
Second. On a motion by trustee Phillips, on a motion by trustee Morales, seconded by trustee Phillips, to approve superintendent action items on SELPA, 10.03, thank you. Any comments, questions, discussion from the board? Please vote on your devices. Motion carries 4-0. There are no items removed for separate vote. For item 12, which was board president vacancy, after having a discussion with Superintendent Castro, I think the first thing we have to do is we have to look at our norms and include in our norms that we rotate off seats, offices. So before we can talk about what happens in a vacancy, although we have pulled up the board policy, I think it's predicated on the fact we have to have it in our norms. And the fact that trustee Burris isn't here, we might want to table this, or I leave it to the pleasure of the board. What do you guys want to do? Have this discussion tonight, or should I tell you what I know?
Well, I thought I brought up several times on the norms to make sure we had the rotation of the seats.
And I don't believe it's there yet. It's okay.
I'll bring it up with the evaluation again.
Well, we can add it now. We don't have to wait for the evaluation. We can add it now. That, it's a no-brainer, so we can do that. Okay, and therefore, once it gets on the norms, because
I do believe that at the last, was it the June 2024 meeting, we did add it to the norms that the clerk and the president rotate. I think what's not part of the norms is what happens in case of a vacancy. So those things are governed by Ed Code and the government law. But if the president vacancy, so President Coronado, you said, I'm done
if
after
I
this
said tomorrow,
meeting,
right?
what happens? That's the part that is not indicated in the norms, but the rotation, it was included in the norms July 2024, June 2024.
Okay, I misspoke. The document I looked at, I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there. So what it means is, to my understanding, is, say I left tomorrow. Clerk Rudolph would come fulfill my last few months of my office, and then she would take over as president, fulfilling her entire term, if that's what she chose to do. I shouldn't say her. The clerk, we're not using names. The clerk would come, fill the presidency seat, and then fulfill their own president's seat for a year. And we would just do that.
I believe that was the question that you had, President Coronado?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yes, trustee Phillips?
The only time that I recall that happened was when Mrs. Bollinger passed away. And I had to take over her position while she was alive. And then I believe that after she passed away, we had it on the agenda to officially vote for the president and the clerk because we have shifted. And so I filled out that year and I was done. So I think we should consider when the action takes place. If there's only 2 months left, then the person could be on it for the next year. If, in this case with Diane, she passed away in February, so it's almost a complete year that I filled her seat.
And then the following year, you
And then I
rotated-
stepped down.
rotated out.
Mhm.
Well, that's a good point. If it happens in the, say, first quarter of the year, maybe that person just rotates out. If it happens beyond the first quarter, maybe that person fulfills that position and then completes the next position. Well, it's something that's out there to think about, to ponder.
Mhm.
And when trustee Burris returns, we can finish this.
It's kind of similar to when there's a vacancy on the board, and if it's over 130 days, then we can appoint, but if it's under 130 days, then it's automatically an election.
Mm.
And so it'd be kind of that same thing that,
130 days,
I think that's what it
like
is.
4 months, roughly.
But I would, because it's within the board, I would make it probably longer. I mean,
Well, I want you to think about it because you
Yeah.
never know what's going to happen. Tomorrow's not promised and people make decisions based on other things in their lives other than what's happening here in the boardroom. Okay, do you have direction, Superintendent Castro, what to do?
I believe we're going to wait until trustee Burris comes back, and the one recommendation was to wait and see when the vacancy occurs based on the calendar year and what's left in the term.
Yes.
And that would be the discussion, but I did not hear if that was the final resolution or if we're going to continue to discuss.
I think we need to continue the discussion when Mrs. Burris is here.
So would you like me to keep this item on the agenda? Okay, thank you.
Please, thank you. Okay, board member comments. I'm so sorry, trustee Phillips, but you're up again. You can talk to trustee Burris, she created the schedule.
Just one thing, I represented the board at the invitation at Centinela to listen to the Secretary of State. And thank you, Dr. Ho, for being there for the district as well. She was really amazing. I didn't know what to expect from her, but she grew up in Arkansas. Her father was a sharecropper, and at first they weren't allowed to vote with the Jim Crow laws. And then when they finally received the right to vote, and help me with this if I get it wrong, Dr. Ho, he spoke up about it, and they put together a lynch mob against him. So they moved to California where it was a little bit safer for them. But they moved to a place where there was no church or school or public place they could vote at. So her mother, and she was 6 out of 8 children, her mother opened up their house for voting as a polling place, and it was every single election until her mother passed away. So she's very devoted to voting, encourages everyone to vote. As she said, and I caught this one, we all have the same power when we vote. We have the same power as the President of the United States. He gets 1 vote, or she gets 1 vote if that ever happens, and we get 1 vote. So, and she mentioned that it doesn't matter where you live, affluent people don't get more votes than others. Now, I mean, when she was speaking also, she was speaking to the 11th and 12th graders at Lawndale High School. So that's why she was really putting this through. The other thing that she mentioned is that they have lowered it down to 16 years of age that the young people can now register to vote. It was 17, now they can register at 16 or 17. And then when they come up to their 18th birthday, they get a wonderful letter from the Secretary of State that says you are now eligible and you pre-register so you can vote.
Excellent. Thank you for attending that, Anne. Thank you so much. Dr. Ho, would you like to add anything to that? Okay, thank you. Okay, let me look at my list. Well, I'm gonna wing it.
Her name, by the way, is Dr. Weber. We don't usually know the Secretary of State's name.
All right, I'm just gonna go with trustee Morales.
I have no comments tonight.
Thank you. Clerk Rudolph?
I just have one comment, thanking everyone for all the good work. Green School and everybody else on the district. It's like tonight covered every single aspect other than each individual school, which makes me really, really proud. And I never say enough how much I appreciate our school district. So thank you very much. And thank you for all the birthday wishes.
Okay, a reminder for those who can attend or want to attend, there is a annual CVU, Centinela Valley Union High School District, that's just easier for me to say the initials, art showcase next week, October 8th, from 5:30 to 7 at Lawndale High on Inglewood. And no RSVPs are needed. And the last thing I have is we're in the middle of celebrating our Hispanic Cultural Month. I'm delighted to be able to teach my children Son Colores Colores. They love the phrase mi papa. They really emphasize that because I think that's probably the only words they really know, but that's okay. And I just want to share because, you know, I'm really concerned about our history of our district not being written down and forgotten at some point in time. But Ms. Galindo shared this with me last time, but we actually have written documentation, which we're going to keep. Carolyn Streets, do you remember? Or Carolyn Waters, you wouldn't remember her. But I'm going to read this. She says addressed to Ms. Galindo. Is it Galindo or Galinda? Galindo, that's what I thought, but she wrote Galinda. Thanks so much for receiving me on Wednesday and showing me around my old haunts in the district office of I'm a former superintendent office secretary, retired in 2007 and now 83 years old. I remember with great pleasure, excuse me, my time at LESD. Please give my warm regards to long-serving board members, Bonnie, Shirley, Anne, and Kathy. Sad to hear of Shirley Bennett's passing. My husband, Ray, died in 2023, and a note of thanks for my PERS retirement benefits all these years. Love, Carolyn Waters, also known as Carolyn Streets. Did you go to the wedding, her wedding?
Mm-mm.
Well, she had a wedding up in Palos Verdes, and I attended. And instead of cake, she had an ice cream bar. First time I'd ever seen that, but people do it more and more now instead of the traditional cake. So we'll keep this for our archives or something. And again, Dr. Ho, if the vault, whatever the vault is, according to Dr. Gilso, if you could look at it or have someone look at it to see if there are any artifacts or newspaper records or anything like that. And Dr. Cooper, if someone in HR could look and see if there's anything there, because according to Dr. Gilso, that's where she last saw them, records. So at some point, I'm going to ask, maybe you know, does anyone remember the superintendent before Rich Moody?
You're the only one old enough.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a long history with this
I
school
came with
district.
Dr. Waters.
Pardon me?
I came with Dr. Waters.
Right, and before that it was Ricketts, and before that it was Moody, and I can't go back farther. So there's only one person that I might be able to ask who was around at the time. So I will have to do that in the next couple days because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Is there any other business to come before the board tonight? Anything from you?
And I'm sorry, President Coronado. Superintendent Castro, can you say something about LACO's award to our social worker?
Yes. So on Tuesday, we had a visit from LACO, and they honored our Dr. Maria Ruelas, district social worker, and named her the county social worker of the year. So there is a presentation award ceremony in the end of October, October 24th, that they're going to be sending more information to. I'll be sure to share that with the board. But it was a wonderful surprise for her. And I want to give kudos to Dr. Pameli and to our Director of Support Services, Alberto Paredes, because they had everybody come and they pretended that we were going to be receiving an award for PBIS at Anderson. So she was ready to make a speech and walked in. She was surprised. It's the little news clip is on our website. And we're very proud to have one of our colleagues receive such a prestigious honor, testament to the work that she's been doing with our mentorship program. our intern programs, and all of the resources that she's been able to bring to our families and our students. So we're very proud of Dr. Ruelas and very well-received award. Thank you.
Another feather in our cap for our school district.
And one thing-
That's wonderful. Yes.
I got an email today from Virginia about the custodian. Today's Custodian Appreciation Day. I was just wondering if I just wanted to bring it up. Today is Custodian Appreciation Day.
And we do appreciate them very, very much. Is there any other business to come before the board? Therefore, we are adjourned at 6:25.